Welcome back everybody to Forza Horizon 4, and we're doing another seasonal championship. This time it's called Sheer Driving Pleasure, and yeah, we're in A-Class BMW, so yeah, another single manufacturer championship, but BMW have plenty of cars in A-Class, so I'm going to really give them a shot. And yeah, we've yet to do BMWs anyway. Obviously if I'd have done a BMW single manufacturer championship before,
You have arrived at your destination.
wouldn't be doing this, just like I wouldn't be doing a McLaren championship, because we've only recently just done one of them as well. So yeah, you can win the BMW E92 M3 GTS, which is a cracking car. So yeah, if you want to get that, then you have to do this championship, but it's easy enough. Obviously we've only got 3 races to do.
Here comes the summer. Great to see you're getting involved with our seasonal championships. I think you'll enjoy this one.
But they should be really rather fun, because obviously BMWs are generally quite fun cars to drive. So yeah, as you can see, we've got a whole host of cars to drive, SUVs, coupes, sports cars, saloon cars, and the like. So yeah, I'm going to give one of my recent favourites a go, and that's the new Z4 Roadster, which has a 3 litre inline-6 turbocharged engine. I think it's inline-6, I can't remember, but yeah, 382 horsepower, 369 pounds-feet of torque is not bad whatsoever, and it only weighs 3,252 pounds, which is, yeah, a whole lot less than even the one of the older Z4s, which you wouldn't expect to be all that heavy. But as you can see, it's pretty much in line with those. So yeah, and acceleration is good, speed's good, handling and braking is great, and the launch is pretty good as well. So let's see how well it does, and yeah, hopefully it will give us a solid win to start off this championship with. Give us the necessary 20 points. Obviously this also shares the same engine and chassis and drivetrain and the like with the newest Toyota Supra. But in all honesty, I prefer this to the Supra, just because of the looks. I think this looks far better. Yeah, it's easily one of the best looking Z4s in a while. Not a fan of the engine noise though, or lack thereof of engine noise. It really isn't a sporty, inspiring kind of noise, really, to be honest. But more than makes up for that with handling and acceleration and speed and the like. Yeah, it's certainly not a slow car. And even though it doesn't sound all that great, it certainly does look great as well. And I'm glad that they've put it in the convertible version, or in the convertible mode on this game. Because obviously we've had Z4s before, but they've not been in their convertible versions, which has always been a bit of a shame, because these cars always look better in their convertible variant than they do in the hardtop or with the roof up. So it's nice to see that they've finally done it with this car. Sure, there's an old BMW 2002 Turbo up front, or is it 2 of them now? It's at least one of them, which is a surprise, but then again they've probably been upgraded massively to get into this class, so they've got that advantage. That's 2 of them. It's a surprise. Gaining on the coupe. 1 Series version coupe, yes it is. Very well balanced, this car. It's, yeah, very sublime in terms of its handling. It's difficult to get it wrong, though obviously I get it wrong all the time because I'm not the best driver, but yeah, in good hands this is easily one of the best sports cars right now. Even if it lacks that sporty sounding engine. say that it sounds horrible. At times it does sound decent, but yeah, it could sound a lot better. So there we go, a win. Not by a massive margin. Those BMW 2002 turbos were up ahead for a very long time, and they've taken second and third. The 1M is in fourth, and an M5 from 1988 is in fifth, which is surprising that it's beaten a more modern M3 as well as an X6. It's also beaten the more modern M5 as well, so yeah, that classic M5 they're pretty much owning the more modern vehicles, but didn't own us, and yeah, neither the 2002 turbos as well. So yeah, solid start to the championship, but yeah, let's get on to the second race. So the Z4 there standing us in good stead, but let's go for a car that does actually have a good sounding engine. I think we'll go for the is it that, or is it the classic M6? Oh no, that's not in here. We'll go for the 2009 BMW M5 then. It's not quite as good in terms of acceleration or handling than the thingy, but the Z4, but it does have 500 horsepower, and yeah, it does weigh a fair bit, but there are saloon cars that are out there that do weigh more than this. So yeah, let's see what this M5 can do. The only time they've done a V10 engine, I think, in BMW. I know they've done V12s in one of their big saloon cars, 7 Series or whatever, but yeah, as well as obviously the 8 Series, but I don't think they've ever done a V10. And they certainly haven't done since this car, so it's a bit of a shame, because even though the looks wise this car isn't all that great, the engine is superb. It really was part of Germany's horsepower wars of the late 2000s in a lot of ways. There's an Audi coming out with a big V10 as well. Volkswagen with the Phaeton having that W12 engine. So the late 2000s in Germany regards in terms of their cars was insane. To have more than 8,000 RPM revving V10 engine in a saloon car is, yeah, rather mental, to be honest. This is no slouch even by today's standards as well, despite being more than a decade old. Might weigh a fair bit and be quite a large car, but it's no slouch in terms of its speed and acceleration. Go in there. Speed. The more modern BMW is catching us up. I just guess it's no surprise, it's probably got a quicker gearbox, better aerodynamics, and it's probably got more power as well. I think it is the M6. Coupe. Closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to be struggling to get in first place, given this is technically not as quick as the Z4 is, despite the massive addition of more power and more torque. Well, actually I think it's got less torque. It's definitely got more power. Actually, aspirated V10s generally don't have much in the way of torque, especially in older V10s like this. Especially ones that aren't, you know, larger V10s as well. But we got a win. It's not a massive one again though. But a win is a win nonetheless. Is it the M6? No, it's the M4. No one's using the M6 actually. I might actually use one in the next race. But yeah, there we go. Another first place position. Giving us the 40 points, and meaning we're 8 points ahead of the M4 and 14 points ahead of the older Z4. So yeah, doing fairly good so far. But yeah, nonetheless, let's get on to the third and final race. Right, so the M5 there doing us once again really rather well, so I think we should go for power over all else, to be honest. Now obviously we've got the choice of like the X6M, which has 567 horsepower, or the M5 from 2012, that's 552 horsepower, but I think we should go for the, where is it, the M6 Coupe, 560 horsepower, 500 pounds-feet of torque from a 4.4 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine. And yeah, again, not as good in terms of acceleration or handling than the previous car, but speed is way up there, and yeah, it should prove fortuitous to have that kind of speed, I hope. So yeah, let's see what it can do. This, in all honesty, is one of my favourite BMWs from the 2010s. Not really sure why, because in all essence it's just a more less practical M5. But coupes have always been a bit more interesting to me than saloons. And I think this does look substantially better than the saloon car does. Granted, the saloon is more impressive that such a practical and large car is able to do what it's able to do with the amount of power that it's got and acceleration and speed that it can manage, but coupe is just a little bit more desirable as far as I'm concerned. This is hardly the sportiest of coupes that they've ever done. Still not a bad car in terms of handling or speed or acceleration. Just wiping the floor with these guys, but then again they are far older than I am. While having far more power as well. Neato drift. It's not helped our place, but that was spectacular drift, you have to admit. Beat by the oldies. My sheer power is reining them in. Oh dear, bit of understeer. I do like the fact that there are classics in this championship, not just more modern vehicles. Does make it a bit more interesting. And a dash to the finish line. Is it going to be a 70s classic or a modern one? I think it's going to be the modern car. And there we go. I'm glad the car that I actually like more than the other two is the one that also gives us the win, because that would have been quite embarrassing. But there we go. Another 20 points, 60 points overall, 14 points ahead of second, and 22 points ahead of third. So yeah, doing fairly well there. The M5 though has come from behind to get into second place. After, I don't think it won any of the other ones really. All came close, but yeah, there we go. The BMW has been really rather fun to drive. Nice variety to choose from, even though I chose mostly modern cars, but you can choose the classics if you so desire, as well as obviously upgrading them to get them into this class. And yeah, it's all worth it because you do get that BMW GTS, which is a really rather fantastic car. Does improve on the M3 that it's based on really rather well. So yeah, nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.